class, yourself, your children, and your grandchildren, if that don't wake people up that the government has total disregard for the will of we the people, what will it take?
I really don't know. I'm in my late 50s, and I talk to a lot of my elderly friends, and they just don't seem to get it. And I'm like, what is wrong with you folks? Can't you open up your minds, your ears, and listen? Listen to what's happening to us. And how come during Obama elections and all these other people getting interviewed, you know, I never heard anybody interviewed from the elderly Jewish community. Don't you think they would recognize some parallels of what's going on now that has happened to them, that their families experienced and went through? You haven't heard a word from them. They're being suppressed or whatever. I don't know, but I think it's a real shame of what we're walking into. And like you said, we're a bunch of sheep. Nobody's paying any attention. Nobody wants to listen. They all act like, oh, it's not going to be in our lifetime. Well, yes, it is. It's here, and it's now.
And that's absolutely what like you say, what the Jewish people went through. I mean, the writing was on the wall. It wasn't any big shock what happened in Germany. It took many years to reach that point.
We've got
like the young man you're going to have on in the next couple of weeks. See, what I was just about kicked out of school. My governess was Jewish, and she was a survivor. She had the numbers tattooed on her arm. And when I was about 8 years old, I asked her what they were from. And she informed me. And my parents let her tell me. And I got introduced to a lot of the older Jewish community. And they would tell you their stories. And if people would just realize, man, we are walking into the same thing all over again.
I agree
they think it's such a grander scale than what we're in, and it can explode at any time.
I agree with you, man. We've got another phone call. We're going to try to get everybody in, but I certainly do appreciate you calling in today.
Well, yeah, take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, you're on the Real News.
Hello? Am I with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is Bill Anderson, and I want to comment on this crisis in the Middle East, and I want to comment on the cause of what is happening over there right now. President Bush, a few years ago, gave Ariel Sharon, Premier of Israel, $250 million taxpayers' dollars to move 7,500 Jews off of the Gaza Strip. Israel had to send the army down there and pull these people out of their houses, took their businesses away from them, and moved them up on, they settled them in the West Bank, and that made the Palestinians mad because they claimed that territory. But then Hamas run for the government in Palestine, promised the Palestinian people a utopia if they just put them in charge. The poor damn Palestinians elected them. The Western nations cut off all their monetary support. Hamas couldn't even pay their hospital workers. Abbas, who was the prime minister, was able to unseat Hamas out of the government. Hamas gathered their military forces and went over and took over the Gaza Strip. And ever since then, they've used it as a terrorist camp to attack Israel. And Israel has had to try to defend itself ever since. The sad part of it is American taxpayers' money created the whole crisis that we've got in the Gaza Strip right now. It's sad. And you know, the news media doesn't dwell on how many Israelis been killed by rockets, but when Israel goes down to try to stop the rocket barrage against them, and they've shot well over 150 rockets on Israel, and they killed 400 Palestinians, and I regret that that happened. A lot of them was probably innocent people. But Israel had to act. But listen at the news media how telling how many people Israel's killed, but they never mention how many Israelis was killed by these rockets. 2 children was killed that I know of, and an old man when a rocket hit their house. I think this is a terrible tragedy.
And like usual, the United States government meddling in the affairs, funding both sides, treating Israel like it's a little stepchild, dragging them kicking and screaming, forcing them into these different ridiculous treaties. They keep the war going, which is, in my opinion, their goal to do in the beginning, just like us finding out that the weaponry that the Iranians had was American-made.
Yeah, well, that's true. And you know, there is only one answer to this, and that is for somebody, preferably the United Nations, to go in there. They should have acted a long time ago. Go in there, kick the Hamas rulers out, set up an independent government of free Arabs that's got some sense, and stop all of that, and there'd be no reason for the killing. Am I right?
I agree with you. Well, we're going to have to get toward the end. We've only got a few minutes left, but we certainly do appreciate you calling in, and call back anytime, sir.
Okay, goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, Brian, with what you were on there. We got a few minutes left.
Yes, to continue with this article here, a fierce debate is now ensued in China about who that foreign power may be, with China itself as well as Russia and even Japan suspected of being the targets of aggression. The report cites French media news sources having uncovered the proposal in which Rand suggests the $700 billion that has been earmarked for bailout on Wall Street's failing banks instead be used to finance a new war in which would reinvigorate the flagging stock markets. The Rand Corporation is a notoriously powerful NGO with deep ties to the U.S. military-industrial complex, as well as interlocking connections with the Ford, Rockefeller, and Carnegie foundations. Current directors of RAND include Frank Charles Carlucci III, former Defense Secretary and Deputy Director of the CIA, Ron L. Olson, Council on Foreign Relations luminary and former Secretary of Labor, and Todd Bilderberg, member and former Swedish Prime Minister. Carlucci was chairman of the Carlyle Group from 1989 to 2005 and oversaw gargantuan profits from defense contractor made in the aftermath of 9/11 following the invasion of Afghanistan. The Carlyle Group has also received investment money from the Bin Laden family.
It's an amazing story. We also got a email this week, and or another email. We got a phone call. Hey, you're on the Real News. We got just a couple minutes left, but go to it.
Hey, Baron, this is Mitch. I just wanted to make one point about what you were saying about the legalization of private, roads and bridges and all that stuff. Charlotte, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Charlotte leased their rail cars when they started their transit system out to private investors. And now the private investors are losing money because there's not any people to ride their stupid train now.
No, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's sad, but the fleecing of America needs to be stopped. And if people just lay back and do nothing, it's just ridiculous. I mean, that's just one example of the things that are going on that people are just not aware of.
I mean, that's just the key to all of this. We just have to, do something. Get out of the easy chair, turn off the game, and do something.
Educate.
That's right. I mean, and people just, they think, well, I can't do anything, it's big business and government and crap. Well, who employs these people? Who votes for them, we pay these people to work for us. And, if these people aren't doing what they're supposed to do, then they need to either be fired or they need to be changing their policies. Right now, they're not changing anything. They're just doing business as usual, and people are just getting fleeced all over the place.
Once again, these bailouts is the wholesale sellout of the American people, and they blatantly have disregarded the will of the people. They openly are saying, hey, we don't care what you want, people.
That's right. That's exactly right. And that fellow that was on about the Gaza Strip and everything, he's absolutely right. They keep prolonging this war.